The salty breeze of the North Sea whispered secrets as it swept over the bustling harbour of Amsterdam. Sailors and merchants moved about with purpose, but amidst the lively chaos, one man stood apart. His eyes were a stormy grey, filled with untold stories, and his weathered hands held a crumpled map as if it were the key to his soul. This was Captain Elias Blackwood, a seasoned mariner who had sailed the seven seas and returned with tales of wonder and woe. But there was one story that had haunted him for decades, the legend of the Fliegende Hollander, the cursed ghost ship doomed to sail the oceans for eternity. Elias had heard the tale first from an old mariner named Willem van der Berg. They were docked at a remote island off the coast of Africa, seeking shelter from a brewing storm. Willem's voice trembled as he spoke of the ship's captain, Hendrik van der Decken, who had made a pact with the devil to sail the treacherous Cape of Good Hope, defying God and nature. His defiance was met with a curse, condemning the ship and its crew to eternal wandering. "It's no mere myth," Willem had insisted, his eyes wide with terror. "I've seen it with my own eyes. A ship with tattered sails, glowing with an unearthly light, and the wails of the damned echoing across the waves." That fateful night it left an indelible mark on Elias, and he had spent the years since searching for any trace of the ghost ship. Now, as he stood on the docks of Amsterdam, he felt a strange pull towards the sea, as if the Fliegende Hollander was calling to him. Elias's reverie was broken by the sound of footsteps approaching. He turned to see a young woman with auburn hair and determined green eyes. She wore a long coat and carried a leather-bound journal under her arm. "Captain Blackwood?" she asked, her voice steady despite the curiosity that flickered in her gaze. "Aye, that's me," Elias replied. "And who might you be?" "My name is Isabella Thornton. I'm a historian and researcher specializing in maritime legends. I've been studying the Fliegende Hollander, and I believe this map you hold could be the key to finding it." Elias raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "And how did you come by this map, Miss Thornton?" "It was passed down through my family," Isabella explained. "My ancestor, Thomas Thornton, was a sailor who claimed to have encountered the ghost ship. He documented his experience and marked a series of coordinates on this map, but he never revealed their significance." Elias studied the map closely. The coordinates formed a pattern that seemed to trace a path through the North Sea, leading to a remote and uncharted island. "And you believe this island is where we'll find the Fliegende Hollander?" "It's a possibility," Isabella said. "But there's more. According to my research, the island is said to be cursed, and many ships have vanished while attempting to reach it." Elias felt a thrill of excitement mixed with a twinge of fear. He had faced many dangers in his life, but the lure of the ghost ship and the mysteries it held was too great to resist. "Very well, Miss Thornton," he said. "We'll set sail at first light. But be warned, this journey will be fraught with peril, and there's no turning back once we begin." The next morning, Elias and Isabella boarded the Sea Serpent, a sturdy brigantine crewed by a loyal band of sailors who had followed Elias through countless adventures. The crew was apprehensive about the journey, but their trust in their captain outweighed their fears. As the ship sailed out of the harbor, Elias felt a sense of anticipation and unease. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, and the sea seemed to whisper ominous warnings. For days, they navigated through choppy waters and thick fog, relying on the map and Isabella's research to guide them. Strange occurrences began to plague the voyage: equipment malfunction, compasses spun wildly, and eerie voices echoed in the night. One evening, as the crew gathered on deck, a sudden chill descended upon them. The sea turned eerily calm, and a thick mist enveloped the ship. Through the fog, a ghostly light appeared on the horizon. "Look!" one of the sailors cried. "It's the ghost ship." The crew watched in awe and terror as the Fliegende Hollander materialized before them. The ship's tattered sails flapped in an invisible wind, and the air was filled with the mournful wails of the damned. A figure stood at the helm, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light: Captain Hendrik van der Decken. Elias felt a surge of determination. This was the moment he had been waiting for, but he knew they were not yet ready to face the ghost ship. They needed to reach the island and uncover its secrets first. "Stay the course," he ordered. "We'll not engage with them yet." As the Sea Serpent pressed on, the ghost ship disappeared into the mist, leaving the crew shaken but resolute. They were closer than ever to uncovering the truth, but the journey ahead would test their courage and resolve like never before. After several more days of treacherous sailing, the Sea Serpent finally approached the coordinates marked on the map. The island loomed on the horizon, shrouded in darkness and mystery. Jagged cliffs rose from the sea, and the air was thick with an otherworldly energy. As they neared the shore, Elias and Isabella could see the remnants of shipwrecks scattered along the coastline. It was a grim reminder of the dangers that lay ahead. The crew anchored the ship and made their way to shore in small boats. The island was eerily silent, and an oppressive sense of dread hung in the air. They explored the island cautiously, following the map's markings to a hidden cave. Inside the cave, they discovered an ancient altar adorned with strange symbols and artifacts. Isabella studied the markings carefully, piecing together their meaning. "This altar was used in a ritual," she said. "A ritual to summon and control the spirits of the dead. It's possible that Captain Vanderdecken performed a similar ritual to make his pact with the devil." Elias felt a chill run down his spine. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, but there was still so much they didn't understand. As they continued to explore the cave, they found a hidden chamber containing a journal and a chest filled with gold coins and jewels. The journal belonged to Thomas Thornton, and it detailed his encounter with the Fliegende Hollander. According to the journal, Thomas had discovered the island by accident and witnessed a ritual performed by the ghostly crew. He had barely escaped with his life and the map, vowing to one day return and uncover the truth. Elias and Isabella realized that the chest was cursed. Anyone who took the treasure would be doomed to share the fate of the ghost ship. "We must leave the treasure," Isabella said. "Our priority is to break the curse and free the souls trapped on the Fliegende Hollander." Elias nodded in agreement. They had come too far to be swayed by greed. Armed with the knowledge from Thomas's journal, Elias and Isabella returned to the Sea Serpent and prepared for the final confrontation with the ghost ship. They knew that breaking the curse would require a combination of courage, cunning, and the power of the pendant. As night fell, the ghostly light appeared on the horizon once more. The Fliegende Hollander emerged from the mist, and the air was filled with the wails of the damned. "Steady, men!" Elias called out. "This is our chance to end the curse once and for all." With the pendant glowing brightly around her neck, Isabella stepped forward and began to chant the incantation from the journal. The ghost ship drew closer, and the crew braced themselves for the battle ahead. Suddenly, the sea erupted with fury, and the ghostly crew appeared on the deck of the Sea Serpent. A fierce battle ensued, with the living and the dead clashing in a desperate struggle for freedom. Elias faced Captain Vanderdecken, their swords clashing with a force that shook the very air around them. The ghostly captain's eyes burned with an unnatural light, but Elias fought with a determination fueled by years of searching for the truth. As Isabella completed the incantation, a powerful wave of energy surged through the air. The pendant glowed with an intense light, and the ghostly crew began to fade. With a final, defiant roar, Captain Vanderdecken was consumed by the light, and the Fliegende Hollander disintegrated into mist. The wails of the damned fell silent, and the sea returned to its calm state. The crew of the Sea Serpent stood in awe, their hearts filled with relief and triumph. The curse had been broken, and the souls of the ghostly crew were finally free. With the curse lifted, Elias and Isabella returned to Amsterdam as heroes. The tale of their adventure spread far and wide, capturing the imagination of those who heard it. The legend of the Fliegende Hollander had been laid to rest, and the souls of the ghostly crew were finally at peace. Elias found himself reflecting on the journey as he walked along the bustling streets of Amsterdam. He had spent years searching for the ghost ship, driven by a need to uncover the truth. Now that it was behind him, he felt a mix of relief and uncertainty about what lay ahead. Isabella, on the other hand, was filled with a sense of accomplishment and excitement. She had not only confirmed the existence of the legendary ship but had also played a crucial role in breaking its curse. Her passion for uncovering maritime mysteries had been rekindled, and she was eager to continue her research. One afternoon, as they sat in a cozy cafe by the canal, Isabella shared her thoughts with Elias. "Captain Blackwood, there's so much more to discover. The world is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. I believe we could achieve great things together." Elias smiled, feeling a spark of excitement reignite within him. "You're right, Isabella. Our journey may be over, but our adventures are just beginning. There are still countless legends and secrets out there waiting to be uncovered." Their conversation was interrupted by a young man who approached their table, his expression one of awe and admiration. "Excuse me, are you Captain Elias Blackwood and Miss Isabella Thornton? The ones who broke the curse of the Fliegende Hollander?" Elias nodded, and the young man continued, "My name is Oliver. I work at the Maritime Museum, and we've been following your story closely. We'd like to invite you to speak at an upcoming event and share your experiences with the public." Isabella's eyes lit up with excitement. "We'd be honored," she said. "It's important to share our knowledge and inspire others to explore the unknown." As they prepared for the event, Elias and Isabella found themselves becoming even closer, their shared experiences forging a strong bond. They spent hours recounting their adventure, laughing at their narrow escapes and marveling at the incredible sights they had witnessed. The event at the Maritime Museum was a resounding success. The audience was captivated by their tale, and many were inspired to pursue their own adventures. Elias and Isabella became well-known figures in the maritime community, respected for their bravery and dedication to uncovering the truth. One evening, as they strolled along the harbor, Elias and Isabella noticed a commotion by the docks. A crowd had gathered around a group of sailors who were animatedly discussing a recent sighting. Curious, they approached the group and listened in. "We saw her, I tell you," one of the sailors exclaimed. "A beautiful siren with a voice like an angel, luring ships to their doom." The mention of a siren piqued Isabella's interest. "Do you know where this sighting took place?" she asked. The sailor pointed to a distant point on the map. "Here, near the Strait of Gibraltar. Several ships have gone missing in that area recently, and the survivors all speak of the siren's song." Elias exchanged a glance with Isabella, sensing the thrill of a new adventure. "What do you think, Isabella? Shall we investigate?" Isabella's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Absolutely. It sounds like the perfect mystery for us to unravel." With their decision made, Elias and Isabella began preparations for their next voyage. The Sea Serpent was refitted and stocked with supplies, and the crew, eager for another adventure, rallied around their captain and first mate. As they set sail once more, the familiar feeling of anticipation and excitement filled the air. The open sea stretched before them, filled with endless possibilities and unknown dangers. They knew that the journey ahead would be challenging, but they were ready to face whatever came their way. Navigating the treacherous waters of the Strait of Gibraltar, the crew remained vigilant. The stories of the siren's song were fresh in their minds, and they knew the dangers that awaited them. One night, as the moon cast a silver glow over the sea, a haunting melody drifted through the air. It was a song of longing and sorrow, beautiful yet filled with an underlying sense of despair. Isabella stood at the bow, her heart racing as she listened to the enchanting melody. "That's it," she whispered. "The siren's song." Elias joined her, his expression serious. "We must tread carefully. The siren's song is said to lure sailors to their doom." The crew steered the Sea Serpent cautiously, following the melody to its source. They soon spotted a rocky island, shrouded in mist, with waves crashing against its jagged shores. As they approached the island, they saw her, a stunning siren perched on a rock, her tail glistening in the moonlight. Her song was both mesmerizing and heart-wrenching, filled with a deep sense of loss. Elias and Isabella felt the pull of her song but resisted its lure. They knew they had to find a way to communicate with the siren and understand her sorrow. "Let's approach her slowly," Isabella suggested. "We need to show her that we mean no harm." As they neared the rock, the siren's song faltered, and she turned her gaze towards them. Her eyes were filled with a mixture of curiosity and sadness. "We come in peace," Elias called out. "We wish to help you." The siren's voice was soft and melodic as she replied, "Why do you seek me? Do you not fear the fate that has befallen those who came before you?" "We seek to understand," Isabella said. "We know that your song is one of sorrow. Tell us your story, and perhaps we can help." The siren hesitated, but something in Isabella's eyes convinced her to trust them. "My name is Lyria," she said. "I was once a queen of the sea, beloved by my people. But a terrible curse was placed upon me, condemning me to sing this mournful song and lure ships to their doom. I seek to break this curse and be reunited with my people." Elias and Isabella listened intently, their hearts filled with compassion for the sorrowful siren. "We will help you, Lyria," Elias vowed. "Together, we will find a way to break the curse." Lyria guided Elias and Isabella to an underwater cave where she believed the key to breaking the curse could be found. The entrance was hidden beneath a coral reef, and they had to navigate carefully to avoid disturbing the delicate ecosystem. Inside the cave, they discovered an ancient altar covered in intricate carvings and symbols. Lyria explained that the altar was linked to an oracle who possessed the knowledge needed to lift the curse. As they approached the altar, a soft glow emanated from the carvings, and a shimmering figure appeared before them, the oracle. "Who seeks my wisdom?" The oracle's voice echoed through the cave. Elias stepped forward. "We seek to break the curse that has befallen Lyria, the siren. Can you help us?" The oracle studied them for a moment before speaking. "The curse can only be broken by a heart that is pure and filled with compassion. You must undertake a perilous journey to obtain the tears of the moon, a rare and powerful elixir that can lift any curse. But be warned, the path is fraught with danger, and only the bravest will succeed." Elias, Isabella, and Lyria exchanged determined looks. They knew the journey ahead would be challenging, but they were willing to face any obstacle to free Illyria from her torment. The oracle provided them with a map that detailed the route to the location of the Tears of the Moon. It was a treacherous path that led through a series of underwater caverns and past dangerous sea creatures. With the map in hand and their spirits high, they set out on their quest. The journey tested their courage and resolve as they navigated through dark, twisting tunnels and battled fearsome creatures that guarded the path. After days of perilous travel, they finally reached the cavern that held the Tears of the Moon. The cavern was illuminated by a soft, ethereal light, and at its center stood a crystal pedestal holding a vial of shimmering liquid. Isabella approached the pedestal and carefully retrieved the vial. "This must be it," she said, her voice filled with awe. "The Tears of the Moon." As they prepared to leave the cavern, a powerful presence filled the air. A guardian spirit appeared before them, its form majestic and commanding. "To obtain the Tears of the Moon, you must prove your worth," the guardian declared. "You must show that your hearts are pure and that your intentions are true." Elias, Isabella, and Lyria stood united, their hearts filled with compassion and determination. They explained their quest and their desire to lift the curse that had plagued Lyria for so long. The guardian studied them for a moment before nodding. "You have proven yourselves worthy. The Tears of the Moon are yours. Use them wisely." With the vial in hand, they made their way back to the surface, their hearts filled with hope. The journey had been challenging, but they had overcome every obstacle with courage and unity. The crew erupted in cheers, their hearts filled with happiness and triumph. They had witnessed a miracle and played a part in bringing it about. Elias and Isabella exchanged a proud and relieved glance, knowing that their efforts had been worth it. Lyria turned to Elias and Isabella, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, both of you. You have given me a gift beyond measure. I can now return to my people and reclaim my place as their queen." "We're honored to have helped you, Lyria," Elias said. "May your future be filled with happiness and peace." With a final farewell, Lyria dove gracefully into the sea, her form shimmering as she disappeared beneath the waves. The crew watched in silence, knowing that they had been part of something extraordinary. As the sea serpent set sail once more, Elias and Isabella reflected on their journey. They had faced countless challenges and dangers, but their determination and unity had prevailed. "What's next for us, Captain?" Isabella asked with a smile. Elias chuckled. "There will always be new adventures and mysteries to uncover. The sea is vast, and its secrets are endless. But for now, let's enjoy the calm and the knowledge that we've made a difference." With the moon casting a gentle glow over the ship, the sea serpent sailed towards the horizon, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The legend of the Der Fliegende Hollander had been laid to rest, and the echoes of their adventure would inspire generations to come. As they sailed into the unknown, Elias and Isabella knew that their bond had been forged in the fires of adversity and strengthened by their shared triumphs. Together, they would continue to explore the mysteries of the sea, driven by a spirit of curiosity and a heart full of courage.